Hello and welcome back to some more MotoGP 20 and part 7 of our career mode. In today's episode we take part in the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello. It's going to be a fantastic race. I love Mugello as a racetrack. We've actually got straight through to Q2 this week. We were first in FP1, which was the only dry practice session, so I made sure I got my time in early. And then the rest of the weekend was, the rest of the free practices were wet, so made sure we got into the top 10 of FP1 and knew that the times wouldn't change. So yeah, we're through Q2 straight away, and I actually think we've got some pretty decent pace around here, so looking forward to getting going with that. So hopefully you guys are good, and I know that a lot of people are really enjoying this series so far. So if you are enjoying, keep hitting that thumbs up. It does wonders for the channel, it really does, and trying to get more people to view our content around here. So here we go, Q2.
And now we're back with live coverage of the second round, where the 12 riders with the best times from free practice and first qualifying sessions take each other on.
So here we go then. As you can see, it's Alex Rins and Franco Morbidelli that made it through Q1. I can't believe it was those two. Well, it's particularly Alex Rins that was in Q2. That makes Q1. Sorry, that makes very little sense to me. Let's have a little look at the track temperature. Track temperature is 44 degrees Celsius, so we should really go for the medium compound tyre, so that is what we're going to go for, and then we'll get into the session. I think we might as well skip some of the laps. We'll see what sort of times they're setting. So we set a 140, might have been a 147.1 in our time, in FP1. Obviously we're expecting the times to be a lot quicker, but we should certainly be up there, you would think. Just double check the track temperature. It is 44 degrees Celsius, so let's go for it. Let's hit the road, Jack, and see how we get on. We've got 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Not really expecting straight away to be competitive, but here we go, on to our flying lap then. Excited, really excited to show you guys this circuit. I know quite a few people that are watching this series are not necessarily MotoGP fans, much like myself. I'm not a massive fan of the sport, but really enjoying the opportunity to ride these bikes around the circuits. And I know a lot of these circuits are new to people watching at home, and there you go, already 3/10 quicker than Marquez through the first sector. Dovizioso has crashed out on track. No idea what sort of lap he was on, whether he was potentially going to go quickest, but he's pushed too hard evidently and found himself off the track. But that was poor from us. It was a really poor corner, and what was on track to be pole position we've thrown away. Just need to be mindful here. The track feels very, very different to what it did in free practice. I felt like I could throw the bike around in free practice, so it's a little bit jarring to not quite have that same luxury, and we go a bit wide and fall off the bike again. So we really haven't been doing that this weekend. We've not been falling off the bike. Twice in one lap we've done it now. So obviously we're well off the pace. at the moment. Whoops. Need to set it on to 0 for now. As we come into our flying lap, this really needs to be quick. We're going to just go with 1, I think. Because we do not want to run out of fuel. That's the thing we certainly cannot afford to do. So here we go. Move it up to 2 through this next sector as we're just marginally off the time of Marc Marquez. Cal Crutchlow has crashed now, as is Alex Rins. So here we go through the section where we sort of made a mess of it last time. We're 4/10 off the pace and we hit the gravel. Luckily we stay on the bike. But here we are. Because we've set it to 1, we will get 1 more run at this. It will be vitally important. But yeah, this was another place where we fell off the bike. We just haven't got the same commitment through the turns that we had last in FP1, which is such a shame because we were doing so well. But here we go, coming up to the line now. It's a 1:48.0, which is really not good enough. We do so much better than that. So here we go. Got exactly a lap of fuel to do this now. No, that was poor. Two-tenths off the pace already. Hey, these things happen, but very disappointed with our run so far. A little bit wide and hit the gravel again. Can you believe it? Obviously, track conditions very different to what they were in Friday practice. And that's what's costing us at the moment. We need to make a good final corner to make the best of this. We're not getting any second goes after this, so here we go. Up to the line, we're going to use all of our fuel. We're coming up to the line now. What's it going to be? Still a 1:48.0, and we qualified 12th. Very embarrassing, really. Just don't know where our pace went. So 12th position, not the best.
Hi motorcycle race fans tuning in. Today's MotoGP race is being held in the hills of Tuscany, where the Italian Grand Prix is about to start. The weather forecasts are very reassuring. We'll have sunny weather for the entire duration.
So it's going to be hard tyres, I think.
Showing us the riders concentrating before the start of the race.
As it's 50 degrees, the track temperature. So here we go, ready for the Grand Prix. So Marc Marquez on pole position. Starting on the hard tyres. Dovizioso second, Rins in third. So Alex Rins making it through Q1 and qualifying third. So Morbidelli seventh as well. So he's quite high up the grid. But here we go, ready for the race.
One of the most challenging and spectacular tracks in the entire championship.
So here we go, ready and waiting. Lights out, away we go here in Mugello. It's not a bad start off the line for us. It's usually second phase of the start where we struggle, as our straight line speed is not as good as others. We made slight contact with Cal Crutchlow there through turn 1, and he's gone flying. So sorry to our compatriot there. I'm sure he's going to have something to say after this Grand Prix. And we're down to 17th meanwhile. Bit of a disappointing run through the first sector. Just struggling on these much harder tyres. The soft tyres just felt a lot better, more grippy, but there we are, we're off the bike. So first rewind of the Grand Prix, and nearly lost a second one there, and that's actually Iannone. I thought it was Crutchlow for a second. Onto the gravel again, so we need to settle into this race because we're just all over the place at the moment. Well guys, you join me on the final lap, or coming up to the final lap, and you can see we've been pushing so hard. We've got that much of a time penalty now. I don't think we're going to manage to make many more positions up as we go wide into the first turn, so it's going to be our second of 3 rewinds, and we're okay. Got to get 1.6 seconds ahead of the person behind, which I don't know how possible that's going to be. We're pushing so hard. I mean, this would be one solitary point, which after the start we made wouldn't be too bad. I've spent a lot of the race just concentrating on my own pace and starting to rediscover the kind of pace that we had in practice. As we're desperately trying to make it up a couple of more on-track positions. That's going to be, oh well, we'll use our third and final rewind. Remember, we might as well bring it back to about here. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That was actually probably worse than our last entry through there. Desperately clinging onto the bike here. That's okay. So here we go, going up to the line. Marquez has won. Now we're not going to finish in 14th because we've got the penalty, but do we finish in 15th?
While the riders enjoy the acclaim of the
Let's
fans
find out.
on their victory lap, let's take a look at the final ranking of today's
No,
race.
we don't. We go down to 17th. So it has been a real disappointing Grand Prix and not a very interesting one to watch, but you can see our pace right on there with the leader there. On 1:47.3 was our quickest lap. What could have been at this race? We just didn't turn up in Q2 in the first half of the race. We just were not good enough. Brad Binder, the only retirement. Cal Crutchlow managed to make it back up to 20th after a first lap collision with ourselves. But we were the second or third fastest rider on the track today, but couldn't quite manage any points, so that is a big disappointment. And we dropped down to 9th now after moving up to 6th in the previous Grand Prix. No change to the team championship or the constructors championship for us, and just a disappointing race. I was really looking forward to it because our pace was genuinely quite decent, as I think you saw at the end there, but we just didn't bring it in the first half of the race, or qualifying too. Well, there you go. We get some. We lose some credits for that, which isn't good. We luckily get some nice resource points. So, and next time out, we've got the 7th Grand Prix of the season in Spain. We've then got an official test session, which I'll probably do off camera. Then Sachsenring, Assen, and then the first race in Finland. So, we're getting through this season pretty quickly. Hopefully, we can continue to go at a decent rate and see how we get on by the end of the year. But still, plenty of time to turn things around. If you have enjoyed this episode, though, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for regular MotoGP content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.